Good day, ladies and gentlemen. There was once a time when men argued with reality. Now they argue with the headlines and call it theology. Welcome to Chesterton's Jest, where we examine modern problems with ancient eyes, common sense, and just enough mischief to make the comfortable uncomfortable. We are not here to flatter the age. We are here to question it. Our topic up for discussion today: did the Church abandon Mary? A respectful appeal to Pope Leo XIV. Introduction. Questions asked in filial love. Your Holiness, every age has its crises. Some ages suffer from persecution, others suffer from heresy, others suffer from corruption. Our age suffers from ambiguity. The Catholic faithful have grown accustomed to hearing ancient truths spoken with modern hesitation. We have watched doctrines carefully qualified, traditions delicately rephrased, and venerable devotions subjected to endless pastoral caveats. And nowhere is this felt more acutely than in our devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary. This essay is not an act of rebellion. It is not an act of disobedience. It is, rather, the appeal of a son to his father. For many Catholics are asking a simple question: has the Church become afraid to speak about its mother? Chapter 1. Why are we retreating from our own language? For centuries, saints, theologians, and popes have spoken of Mary as Co-Redemptrix, Mediatrix, Advocate, Queen, Mother of the Church. These titles did not arise yesterday. They emerged from centuries of contemplation. They were spoken by mystics and preached by missionaries. They were found in papal documents and devotional life. And yet, in recent years, Catholics have increasingly heard that certain titles, particularly Co-Redemptrix, are inopportune, confusing, or pastorally unhelpful. Very well. But we respectfully ask, if these titles are orthodox, why do we now speak of them with hesitation? If they are dangerous, why did so many saints and popes employ them? If they are true, why do we sound embarrassed by them? The faithful do not understand, and perhaps the faithful are not unreasonable for asking. Chapter 2. Who is being protected? We are told that caution is necessary so as not to confuse Protestants. This is understandable. No Catholic wishes to obscure the unique mediatorship of Christ. No Catholic wishes to suggest that Mary is equal to her divine Son. The Church has never taught such a thing, yet one cannot avoid another question. Who exactly is being protected? For if our language is softened so as not to scandalize those outside the Church, while simultaneously bewildering those inside the Church, have we gained clarity, or merely transferred the scandal? The ordinary Catholic grandmother praying her rosary never imagined Mary to be a fourth person of the Trinity. The child crowned at a May procession never thought Christ had a rival. The faithful understood what the title Co-Redemptrix meant because the Church explained it. Co means with, not equal, not competing. With, always subordinate, always dependent, always pointing to Christ. So why does the solution appear to be retreat rather than catechesis? Why explain less rather than teach more? Chapter 3. A Curious Ecumenism. Your Holiness, Catholics are increasingly confused by a certain asymmetry. The Church seems remarkably patient with ambiguity when speaking to the modern world. She is willing to risk misunderstanding in conversations with secular ideologies. She engages difficult political questions. She enters complex interreligious dialogue. She carefully avoids language that may offend others. Yet when it comes to Marian devotion, the language often becomes one of caution and restraint. This raises a painful question. Why are Catholics asked to speak more carefully about their mother than previous generations of saints and popes ever did? One occasionally receives the impression that we are attempting to make Catholicism less Catholic so that others might find it more agreeable. But history offers little support for this strategy. Converts rarely enter the Church because she has hidden her treasures. They come because she possesses them. The world does not need a church embarrassed by her Marian inheritance. It needs a church unafraid to explain it. Chapter 4. Did we open the windows and lose the icons? The Second Vatican Council spoke beautifully of the Blessed Virgin. Lumen Gentium presents her as Mother of God, Mother of the Church, and singularly united with her Son's redemptive work. Yet many faithful Catholics feel that after the Council, Marian language became increasingly cautious. Statues disappeared, devotions diminished. Feast days received less emphasis. Titles once spoken freely became matters of pastoral concern. Perhaps none of this was intended, but intentions and effects are not identical. A surgeon may have excellent intentions and still leave a scar. The faithful are asking about effects. The effect is that many Catholics feel as though something precious has receded. A house feels different when the portrait of one's mother has been quietly removed from the hallway. Chapter 5. A respectful appeal to Pope Leo XIV. Your Holiness, perhaps the time has come to speak clearly. If Co-Redemptrix is orthodox, say so. If Mediatrix remains part of our patrimony, say so. If Catholics may confidently invoke Mary under her ancient titles, say so. The faithful do not require novelty. They require clarity. You need not define new dogmas. You need not reopen old debates. You need only reassure the faithful that the Church is not retreating from her own inheritance. Because sons and daughters become anxious when their mother is spoken of apologetically. The Church has never worshipped Mary, but she has loved her extravagantly, and perhaps she always should. Conclusion: the Mother and the Son. Every authentic Marian title magnifies Christ. Every true Marian devotion points toward him. Every Marian privilege exists because of him. The moon does not diminish the sun because it reflects its light. Likewise, Mary's glory is entirely derivative of Christ's glory. To speak highly of her is not to lower him. It is to marvel at what his grace accomplished in one of our own race. Therefore, Holy Father, these questions are not asked in anger. They are asked in filial concern. For if Catholics begin to feel that speaking boldly about Mary has become somehow impolite, inconvenient, or ecumenically embarrassing, then something has gone profoundly wrong. The Church should never fear her mother, and the faithful should never be made to feel that they must whisper titles that saints once proclaimed with joy. For the mother who stood boldly beneath the cross surely deserves to be spoken of boldly beneath the dome of St. Peter's. Thank you for watching. The world does not fall apart because men deny the truth. It falls apart because they replace it with something smaller. As G.K. Chesterton once wrote, fallacies do not cease to be fallacies because they become fashions, so hold fast to what is true, even when it goes out of style. If this was worth your time, please like the video, share it with someone who still cares about truth, and subscribe. Because voices like this can only survive if they're heard. Thank you for listening. God bless you, and may the good Lord be praised.